Hi everybody, welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 31. This is a notable issue because of the return of Hunter x Hunter. I'm very excited. It's like all that's on my mind, but I have to get through other chapters before it because I read in TOC order. But we'll get there when we get there. I will have things to talk about once we get there before I even start talking about the chapter. So stay tuned for that segment. It might run a little long, but it should only be for this week, depending. I don't know. Hunter x Hunter is very special to me. I have a whole podcast about it. Talk about it later. Anyway, this issue. Kiyoshi takes the cover and it's a pretty nice cover. It's nothing too crazy, I would say. It's a nice pose. He looks cool. What more can be said? Also this week, in addition to Hunter x Hunter returning, we also have Hima-Ten ending. Oh boy, we'll talk about it. But to get us closer to the goal of talking about both of those things, let's go ahead and get started. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi Chapter 98, Ultimate Cross Paladin Kiyoshi. The title isn't revealed until the very last page, but that is indeed the title. We kick off the chapter though with a really nice color page of just Team Hellgate. It's really cool to see all of them together like that. Love it. And the chapter itself, extremely cool. Very, very nice to see Kiyoshi standing firm and staying true to his beliefs about the demons. Like, there are plenty of kind demons is exactly what he says, and I just love how determined and ready he is to jump to their defense. And to have, you know, an enemy that he's facing here, and not exactly an enemy, I suppose, but you know, who is just so into his job. Like, absolute justice is his priority. No matter the case, demons eliminated. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a very simple clash of ideals, but it's still very effectively done. And I really enjoyed seeing it come to a head in this chapter. The biggest thing to note is just Kiyoshi's determination. I absolutely loved seeing his attitude in this chapter and just how stern he is about it. He's not budging at all. He is Kiyoshi through and through, and he's not changing his mindset for anybody, no matter how much he respects him. Awesome, awesome stuff. I loved this chapter. Killing it lately. And happy anniversary. WillOWisp Chapter 88, Crystal Clear. We really got Ping Pong Peril back. We got like magic Ping Pong Peril. I love this. It's between Destroyerz and Minakata, and this is just one of my favorite things I've seen in the series so far. This is so entertaining. I love these two, genuinely. Minakata is really the only magic keeper I'm like, I won't say sold on, but I'm mostly on board with him. I get it. I think it's a fun inclusion, and I really like this dynamic that he shares with Destroyerz. It is so funny. Then we get to spend a big chunk of this chapter with Komugi, and I have thoughts about this. So Komugi as a character is very interesting. We keep doing the same kind of thing with her, and it's a little confusing. Pretty much anytime she gets focused, it's always this like, oh my god, I'm the underdog, I'm not performing enough, I gotta get my ass into gear, do this, do that, and it just kind of keeps happening over and over. I feel like to be honest, I feel like it's only happened twice. But because that's the only thing really we keep doing with her, it just feels weird. Are we just never going to get her past that barrier of feeling useless? And like, she keeps getting nothing to do. Like, in the arcs we've had since the last time she went through this, she still continued to do basically nothing. I don't understand. I don't see the future for this character. I'm really lost. Whatever. It is what it is. I still enjoy Komugi. I think she's a lot of fun. I just am really confused about her role in the story. Anyhow, beyond that, it's a really cool chapter, and the reveal at the end is definitely what I was looking for. This is some juicy stuff. This adds a whole new layer of stakes to this arc, and I think that is awesome. It's really cool to explore the mentor, blood pupil contract or whatever with other people, first and foremost, and then on top of that, between a good guy and a villain. Like, what happens if you do this contract, there's no getting out of it, and then your other half just decides to go rogue or criminal? What do? You're screwed. Awesome stuff. Really cool chapter, aside from the little bit of Komugi weirdness. One Piece Chapter 1186. One more time. Okay, so we've ended the Brook flashback. I'm surprised, and I will not say disappointed. I wanted to see how he joined the Rumbar Pirates, but I also said that I was hoping this flashback would be short, so I can't be a hypocrite. Take and choose, I don't know, whatever. I really wanted to see that, but that's not the story we're trying to tell here. We're trying to tell this very specific story about Brook and Shuri. That's it. And that's what we got. It was pretty cool. I think it's a really solid ending to the flashback, and it really helps us understand why Brook was so like convinced on his, you know, hatred and why he completely writ her off in the present. Because yeah, I mean, the things she was saying were really harsh, and it can definitely, like, if you hear somebody say the things that she said, I would have a hard time believing that it's just like lies, because it's pretty realistic in a way. She's saying, you know, like, I could have been living the good life for my whole life, but I was lied to. It sounds like a real motive, even though the Shuri that he knew wouldn't do that. But I mean, you never know how people are going to react when getting information about themselves that's that huge. But you know, now he's kind of coming to his senses years later, and the fact that the head stab thing is interesting. So we know, I guess, why he has the crack in his skull. That's something I never really thought about before, but it is what it is. I guess that's why, probably. And I also like how it just kind of completely yada yadas over the explanation. Like some guy is explaining like, oh, it just happened to miss your brainstem and all your major arteries and everything. And like in the middle of him speaking, he's just cut off by Brook asking what's going on. So I think Oda's messaging here is that just don't worry about it. And that's fine. Whatever. He's Brook. He's built different. Good enough for me. A very sad conclusion to his backstory, and then seeing him in the present again, just resolving himself. Like, I gotta do something here. I gotta save her, try to talk to her, or anything. I gotta figure this out. And having all the other Straw Hats back him up is really, really sweet. I love that. Beyond that, we're back in the present. Exciting, and we got Luffy punching Emu. Huge. Big moment. This is sure to be something. I can't really imagine where this arc is headed. I've said it before, I feel like there's no way we're taking out Emu here, but what will be the end result of this? You know, like what's gonna be the climax of this arc? What is gonna be accomplished? Is there gonna be a loss? Like what's gonna happen? I can't wait to find out, and I'm glad we're back in the present, so we're actually closer to finding out. But Brook flashback, really solid. I thought it was pretty nice. And, you know, because of its length and because we didn't really go beyond the Brook and Shuri stuff, I do see its value in this arc. It still feels weird to have two flashbacks in the same arc, but it is what it is. The Brook one was shorter. Whatever. Someone Hertz, chapter 39, on a roll. Honestly, not a whole lot to note about this chapter. It wasn't, I'm not gonna say it was bad or disappointing or anything like that. It was just kind of a chapter to me. Perfectly fine, cute, all that classic Someone Hertz stuff. The thing I guess I liked the most and I noted the most was this like attendant of Munmid recognizing the two of them and just kind of being like, hell yeah, you know, like seeing these two kids do their thing and being reminded of themselves when they were a kid. It's cool. And also to have somebody like justify the quantity over quality mindset is almost unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen any media ever say that quantity over quality is the better way to go. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, yeah, in this case, sure, you can have that mindset. And yeah, I guess it's not the work itself saying this, it's a character within it. There's just something neat about the fact that that was said. Cool stuff. I liked it. Nothing crazy, but it was a cool one. Akane-banashi Chapter 2, An Unexpected Job. Getting into the swing of the series, you know, already just Chapter 2, and I already feel like we're kind of in a rhythm, which is interesting. It got moving really fast, which sometimes I view as a bad thing, but here it's working, you know, I don't have a problem with it. We're immediately meeting some king who's a big badass, and I love how getting this job wasn't even really a thing that I cannot, they do not say the main character's name enough, the mentor character. I don't have it down. I honestly don't even know it. But the mentor character, I love how he was just completely unexpected. Got the job for him just on a whim, and it's like the most high stakes job ever, and he doesn't even feel like he's qualified for it. And that is my biggest talking point about this chapter, is whenever they actually get to fighting the big kaiju of this chapter, you know, he's going through the motions, doing his thing, and he reaches a point where he's just like, I'm not the one for this. Like, he drops the whole thing. He's not trying to show off in front of that's a very Reagan thing. Like, Reagan, I don't think, I'll be talking about Mob Psycho 100 a lot while covering the series, just so you know. But Reagan wouldn't be the type to drop his facade. Even here, he would keep going with it somehow, one way or another. Because I mean, probably because he genuinely believed that everything that was going on around him was like fraud work, so he was basically invincible. But the mentor here actually is like mature for a second. He's like, no, this isn't for me. I forget about her, whatever. He can think what he wants. He doesn't literally say this, but I mean, it's, you know, proof is in the pudding. He's just kind of dropping this. He's like, we got to find somebody more capable, because, you know, his facade or his whatever you want to call it, his thing is the show that he's performing to is not priority number one. His priority is still defending people, protecting lives, saving lives, all that. I just think that's really admirable. I don't know. It's a very simple thing. It's something that most people in life would probably do. At least I would hope so. But it's just cool to see a more grounded approach on a character like this. Like, he's not super bombastic in his lying. He's just kind of a real dude who is faced with this insane child that he has to like raise, basically, and he's just doing it in the way that he thinks is best, which is, it is taking advantage of like a delusion that has, but it's probably what's best for him. I don't know. It's probably something we'll explore as we continue with the series. But it's an interesting dynamic, and I quite enjoy it, at least for now. Who knows what it'll become later, but so far so good. I like this chapter. Class 2B Hero Destroyerz Chapter 10. Hero times 10 equals greater demon times 50 equals Mogura. Okay. I really like this chapter. This really is, I was already on board with the series, but this like brought me to another level. I don't know why. It's not like that groundbreaking of a chapter. It's just really fun. I like this new character. He's really entertaining and like very effortlessly too. Mogura is his name. Having a character's introduction be just like pissing in a perfect circle is certainly a choice, but it's it's awesome. I don't know. I just think it's really funny. It's obviously Sorochi's style of humor, but I just really love how like nonchalant everybody is. Like, nobody really makes a big deal about anything. Things just kind of happen, and everybody in this world just rolls with it. There's none of that, like, in Nice Prison, I talked about recently how there's just like a character that reacts to everything all the time. There's nothing like that here. Things just kind of happen, and that's what makes it funny. There are like reactions, but they're not big bombastic ones. They're kind of just playing off of a bit. This manga, and I hope Gintama's like this too, it basically reads as like a really long improv session, and it's amazing. I think it's so well done and entertaining. And this chapter is like the key example of that. It just felt like everybody was playing off of each other, both with the action and the comedy. It's so like masterfully done. I just love it. Yeah, really strong stuff here, a really strong new character, and the action looked pretty good. It wasn't anything too substantial, but it looked nice. It was well drawn. Hell yeah.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto is chapter 265, Atari's reading. Atari, huh? I haven't thought about her in a minute. And every time I see her, it actually just blows my mind how she is literally just Neon from Hunter x Hunter. Like, literally. It's just her. It's so crazy. I kind of love it in a way, but it is actually just mind-blowing to me that they just took her and put her into a different manga. Whatever. Anyway, the bulk of this chapter is just more action. It looks really nice. I love the fireworks page. That's pretty sick. And the NPC is reacting to it just the way Sakamoto Days NPCs do. And obviously the big crux of this chapter is the idea that Sakamoto will die in this fight. Oh no. It's not gonna happen. Anytime something like this is said, you just know it's not gonna happen. If somebody says, this guy will die, it won't happen. That's universal across all forms of entertainment. If a character is said to die, if they are going to die, if a character says they are 100% gonna die, no way they don't, they will live. It's just like artificial stakes. And that's all this is. He's not gonna die. There's literally no chance in hell that happens. I would be shocked, and I would honestly have like immense respect for Suzuki if he did kill Sakamoto, but it will not happen. And I'm not saying I want to see it, but I would respect the decision at least. That'd be very bold. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I already know how it's gonna go. They're gonna win, and it'll be fine. Nobody will die. Maybe, I could see somebody dying, but it won't be Sakamoto. Like, low-key, maybe Nagumo or somebody, potentially. Time will tell. Not a bad chapter, though. Hunter x Hunter, chapter 411, announcement. It's so surreal to say that. Okay, let me talk about Hunter x Hunter for a minute before I talk about this chapter. So, I'm a massive Hunter x Hunter fan. It's probably like my second favorite manga ever, third favorite, I don't know, top 5, whatever. It's up there. I love this manga so damn much. I love this arc so damn much. I have a whole podcast, all right? I don't talk about this a whole lot on Manga Cage, but I do co-host a podcast with my friend Dylan called the Hunter Association. If you want to hear me talk every single week for an hour to 2 hours about the new chapters, please go check it out. It'll be linked maybe on screen if I can remember how to do that. It'll be in the description. Maybe I'll even do a pinned comment. All over the place. I really want this to be known that if my discussion of this chapter on any given Manga Cage episode isn't sufficient enough, because to be honest, I will probably try to keep it brief because there will be a lot of thoughts that I will want to share on the podcast. And also, it's kind of like a two-step process of covering the chapter, because you're going to get like my first impressions here on Manga Cage, and then later when I record the podcast, I'll have marinated with the chapter, I'll thought about it more, and I'll be talking it through with Dylan, and sometimes Dylan and a guest. It's a Hunter x Hunter world and we're just living in it, so choose to see my coverage of this however you want. And also note that my thoughts are going to be a little odd. I'm in the middle of a reread. You can see on my shelf, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bookmark in a volume. I'm on volume 35 of my reread. Not very far. And that's because I've been working on my slides, my Succession Contest encyclopedia that I work on. I've been working on it, since the last batch. Resources all over the place. I'll leave that in the description as well, probably, if you need a recap of everything that's going on. I put this together, I had Dylan proofread it, worked off of other people's charts and guides, and Hunterpedia and the manga itself, yada yada, a bunch of stuff. Hunter x Hunter is a big part of my life, okay? There's a lot of stuff out there that I've done regarding the series. Check it out if you want. I won't talk your ear off every week, but I wanted to give this whole spiel this week just so you understand. And later weeks I will at least still mention the podcast, but I'll leave it at that. Okay, this chapter, incredible color page. Holy cow, seeing Serenich basically being like Jesus while holding the head of Pyro. Oh my god, that's haunting. I love it though. That is incredible work. And we are so back. So if you weren't aware, if you forgot, whatever, I don't know how, I don't know what Hunter x Hunter fans are like on Manga Cage. I'm used to talking to a whole crowd of people that are only Hunter x Hunter fans, basically. 410, we ended off in a very strange spot that made it very hard to update my slides, where we jumped ahead in time after Hulkenberg's funeral, after martial law was declared, after a bunch of stuff happened, but we don't know what happened. It was like roughly half the chapter was set in that period of time dealing with Benjamin, who may not be Benjamin, we don't know, it's a whole mess, no idea what's going on there. And now, going back in time and hopefully catching up to the funeral. We're before the funeral once again in Kurapika's second round of the Nen class. Finally, I've been waiting for this. It was so incredible to turn the page and see the whole Nen class spread again. It reminded me of the first class. Same kind of deal. Awesome stuff. Love this. And then Kurapika decides to make an announcement that changes everything. I don't even know where to begin on this. This is some crazy shit that I will have to think on for a while, because is he just lying? Like, this is so crazy. This literally changes everything. If what he's saying here is true. Not only what he says about the contest itself, which is it's in line with what we know of the Succession contest, obviously, but it's adding details that we were not aware of before, and it's also like, how does Kurapika know this? And then to say, obviously the big bombshell, Wobble isn't eligible? There's no way. There's just no way. He's lying. He has to be lying. And to have Oito here at the end reacting the way she does, or having that look on her face, to me that reads like, I'm lying out my ass. Maybe she told him to say this to try to, I don't know, save herself, get something going. This is some crazy stuff, man. I don't know what to believe out of any of this, truthfully. I have no idea. This could all be bullshit. Regardless, this is a crazy move to play, because if we're feeding this many people false information, that reads to me like a bigger plan is at play. We could even be seeing early stages of one of Bill's plans to escape that we've talked about before. I don't know. This is actually insane to me. I just don't know what to think about it right now, and I need further context. We'll have to see in the coming chapters what's going on. Wow, what a bombshell to start. This reminds me a lot of how we started the last batch. It was also involving Kurapika, but the bombshells were being delivered to him, not from him. Okay, that's our first chapter. Oh man, we're back, baby. We are so back. I can't wait for more. Amazing chapter. Took me a while to read, but that's a given. It's Hunter x Hunter. Remember to check out the podcast if you want. Link in the description and comments and whatever else. I don't know. Anywhere. Go check it out.
Ridge Racer! Remember that one?
Hal Formula Chapter 3, The Truth of Intuition. Another very good chapter, as usual. I just love the vibes of the series. It is a little odd with the racing because we haven't done a whole lot of it yet and it's all very short. But again, it's hard to say what the focus of this series is. I mean, I can tell you pretty confidently, having read Green Green Greens, that it's more on the characters than it is the sport. But I can understand somebody walking into this series wanting a racing manga and you're getting more of a character drama, and it's a little disappointing maybe to some. It's exciting to me because I really like how, so far at least, the racing is just kind of used as a device to carry the plot forward rather than being the main focus of the series. We're still focusing solely on Miharu, and the point of this chapter in particular is, I guess, to just reaffirm or, like, you know, hammer down the thematics of this story, and that's all through Kyogoku, the, you know, the former F1 racer mentor type guy, the one who's looking out for him, because it's all just about how he sees himself in Miharu, and he's just like basically telling him like it's gonna be all right, man. I think you're gonna go on the same trajectory as me. You got this. You're working a job right now, I know, but once you hit the next level, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You'll make a living, same as me. I had the same shit, did the same story, saw the same song and dance, all that. And his takeaway, Miharu's takeaway is just like, hell yeah, let's seize our future, he says. And I love how it's always our. He's always thinking about Haruka. Oh my god, that's so sweet. It's never just him, which obviously, I mean, he's like, as far as I'm aware, the legal guardian of this kid. So it's essentially his son in a way, even though it's his brother. Very cool chapter. Just, again, it's basically just a chapter about reaffirming, hammering down the thematics of the story. Cool. Good stuff. Akane-banashi Chapter 212, I have something to say. Wow, what a chapter. This was just insane. This like ripped my heart in half. It's hard to even say a word for it. I guess it was just emotional. It made me feel a lot of emotions. The scene, seeing his mom cry like that. I don't know, the way that panel is framed, just the way it looks, it's painful. You just feel the pain. And it just hits even more just because of how grounded and down to earth this series is. It feels so damn real. And apply that to all the visual metaphor and the thematics tying into the story he's telling. It just hits so hard. Kaisei's life has been brutal, and the fact that he still comes out on top smiling is just a testament to how strong of a character this is, how strong of a person he is. He overcame so much, and even having Isho as his master, he came out on top. Like the most cold-hearted guy ever. He even says it himself the whole way through. Like he never tells me anything. He just kind of wants me to fend for myself, and he still learned so much even through his weird teaching methods. What a dynamic these two have. What an everything. This is just so amazing. I can't believe how good this chapter was. This was so cool. My favorite page is this one here, where he's, you know, doing the whole monologue and he's saying, "Only by embodying the names I bore could I finally achieve restful sleep." Beautiful. This is so good. I absolutely love this chapter. What more can you say? This was damn near perfect. I love Kaisei. I love this performance. I'm not really in the stage where I'm trying to predict who's going to win this, but it's looking good for Kaisei. I don't know if he's going to beat Akane, but it's pretty good. He's putting up quite a fight. Animal Signal Chapter 4, geckos clean their eyes with their tongues. Interesting. So, probably the weakest so far. This didn't really do a whole lot for me. It was a very, like, empty concept of a chapter, in my opinion, and it really just felt like an excuse to get, Kokone in a maid outfit. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to note, to be honest. It really, I don't know, like the animal facts weren't as strong this time, and like the utilization of a fact to get them out of a situation just felt kind of like tacked on and not super exciting. Not that it's been exciting, but it was at least clever before. This was just, again, I think an entire chapter built around the fact that Kokone is wearing a maid uniform. That's about it. I don't know. I guess harmless was fine enough. It didn't really do a whole lot for me personally. Whatever, hopefully next chapter is a little bit more engaging. He did the Monster Mash. Roku's House of Oddities, Chapter 12, An Awakened, Open, and Connected Roku. This Nina character is quite fun. Have we seen her before? I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I don't recall seeing her before. She's funny though. But the high school stuff still continues to be like it's just kind of fine. It's the last chapter I would say wasn't very good. This one was at least enjoyable. I like how we have a fusion now of the high school and the home life. We have Johan coming to save the day, which was a pretty cool moment. And also advising Roku on the phone about what is going on, I think is cool. It was neat. Just nothing too substantial to note about it, really. It was just fine. I like that it blended the two, not halves of the series together, but it at least made the high school stuff a little bit more engaging because we have Johan involved. It would be cool to see, you know, other curses of the family, get them out of situations in the future or something. Maybe, I don't know. Not too exciting, but it was something. Whatever.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Underdoctor Chapter 22, The Fake Doctor and the Underdoctor Part 2. I don't know. It's fine. Like, this series is weird to me. And by the way, I'm so used to talking about this like second to last that it feels weird to talk about it here. It feels like I'm like done. But no, definitely not. This is a TOC placement closer to what I would have imagined it would get based on the sales. So it's probably gonna stick around. Who knows how long. This series is in a loop. It feels so aimless. Like there's really nothing to look forward to. And again, I feel like I talked about the same shit last week. I don't know, I probably did. But listen, episodic stuff is fine. I enjoy it. There's plenty in this magazine that I enjoy. But I don't know what I want out of this. I just think, truthfully, guys, I'm just not into this one. It's never been able to sink its teeth into me in any meaningful way. It gets me on board every once in a while. Like every few chapters, there's something that's like, okay, I see you, not bad. This one is kind of like that. It's fine. It's doctor stuff at least. It's emotion. It's no action or anything. It's fine. It's okay. But it's still not like groundbreaking or anything that I would want to recommend somebody. It's kind of a chapter of a manga. I don't know. And that's what every chapter of this series feels like. It feels really safe and uninteresting for the most part. But, you know, I can at least admit that this was a fine enough chapter. I just fear that that's like the ceiling. All I'm going to get out of this series every once in a while is just being like, yeah, not bad. That's not what I want. I want some amazing stuff. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. Oh well, it's fine. Whatever. I'll keep reading. Keep on trucking. See what the other people think. I'm very curious to see if this one manages to last any notable amount of time. Blue Box Chapter 248, No Matter How Much Our World Expands. Blue Box Chapter 248, No Matter How Much Our Worlds Expand. Oh my god. Beautiful. My heart, dude. Oh my god, it was so good. This is just so sweet. It hurts. One thing, I thought he proposed for a second, but I guess it's just a ring. Like it's the little gift ring or something. I don't know, but I really thought he proposed. I was like, holy shit. Getting married at 18. That sure is something. And even then, like, I guess you could probably view it as like a promise band. Like, you know, we will get married, I guess. He didn't call it that, but that is a thing people do. And the ending of the chapter is just so sweet. Oh my god, they just have such a pure, beautiful love for each other. I love their declaration that, yeah, we're gonna be together forever. It doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing, we are together forever. That's how important they are to each other and how much they mean to each other. Oh, dude, it's just so sweet. It seriously just melts my heart. It turns to mush when I read this shit. I love it. I just love it. This is so good. Man, I'm not ready for the series to end, but it's coming very fast. I don't expect this to last a whole lot longer, but it's gonna nail the landing. This chapter is exactly what I need. It's just reaffirming everything's gonna be all right. We're chill. They're chill. Happy ending incoming. Fantastic chapter. Me and Roboco Chapter 287, Akane and Gorilla Gachi 2. Nice to see something like this. We haven't really explored their new relationship a whole lot since it started. And it's about what you'd expect from Roboco Chapter. You know, it's just, they're trying to hang out, or rather Akane is trying to hang out with him, and it just, a bunch of garbage keeps getting in the way. Bondo's there to start, and then like his family members come in one by one and start terrorizing the house. But like last time, even though it is still jokey, we do end off on a sweet note in the end, and it's quite cute. I think this is a very nice little couple, and despite the rough start of the chapter for Akane, it ended up being a really sweet, like, welcome party for her, welcoming her to the family, essentially. Really nice. I liked this one quite a bit, actually. One of my favorite Roboco chapters in recent memory, I think. Really cute. Hima-Ten, final chapter, beautiful home. Okay, I have thoughts. This is crazy. So Honoka won. Honoka is the one that Iemori decides to date. Oh, what? I just can't believe it. Like, this whole time, and once eventually I put this in a compilation, you'll be able to see it all in a row of probably the countless times I've said, there is literally no way that Honoka wins, so why are we spending any time with her at all? And that's accentuated by the fact that we didn't spend much time with her. So by the time we get to a confession, it feels like it's shoehorned. But it's, oh my god, I have so many thoughts about this, because you almost don't have to do legwork for a character like this. It's the childhood friend. Their history is all off screen. But then, like, why should we care? We don't see their chemistry, really. We do. Like, we get to see them have little moments together throughout the course of the series. And near the end, we got significantly more than we've gotten before, but it still felt like too little too late, and now we're supposed to like be like, hell yeah, man, you did it, that's what we all wanted. It's not. I don't think anybody, there are a few people, I do see some commenters every once in a while that are like, Honoka Iemori shippers, and that's fine. It makes sense. It's a very safe pick. It's the childhood friend one. They almost never win, and that's part of the aspect of why, like, I kind of respect this, because this just never happens, especially in a series named after literally the ship, the main ship. Himari and Iemori, the series is named, but it doesn't happen. Instead, it ends up being just about their relationship and how they kind of lifted each other up through their childhood or their high school career or whatever. And I guess it ends up being like not a super sad note for Himari. She goes on and does her own thing. I guess she never finds love. She's not with anybody in the future, but she will, I'm sure. Same with Kana. I love how, like, neither of them find anybody. Well, they might. I guess they didn't say explicitly if they are, like, dating anybody, but they found their own happiness regardless. And so did Iemori and Honoka, and I guess we just gotta feel good about them. And I do for the most part. It's so weird, because another thing I do like in concept is having all of them stay friends. He's still very, very close with Himari, and even calling them each other best friends, which is really sweet, because they did build up a really strong bond with each other, and I think that's very nice that they got to keep that even in adulthood, and how their relationship is even like the foundation of her current thought process on running her company, which is crazy, but it's really sweet. I just don't really care about the ship that won, and that's like the whole point of the series. I just never found myself caring about Honoka in any capacity, and to have her be the one that gets with Iemori in the end just feels like hollow. Like, I just really can't be bothered to care. And that's such a shame. I guess I'm happy for Iemori. Good for him. He got the girl he wanted, but I don't know. It just ends up feeling shallow. Whatever. Overall, I mean, this was a fine series. I never like fell in love with it. It was entertaining to keep up with every week. I still liked Kana the most. She was by far the best character. Himeno sucks still. She never did anything of value. I don't even know why she was introduced. Iemori was a cool dude. Honoka was a bag of nothing, and Himari was lovely. I don't know. Whatever, man. Good for all of them. They're happy, I guess. I should be too. Just a weird ending, but I get what Genki Ono was trying to do. I just don't think the landing was stuck at all. A bit more legwork needed to be done to reach this ending in a satisfying way, and it wasn't done. So, what are you gonna do? That's Hima-Ten. Thank you for your time, Hima-Ten. I enjoyed you while I had you. Maybe miss you. I don't know. Let's get another romance series in here, because Blue Box is ending too. I need something. Guess we got Someone Hurts, but that's like, not exactly what I'm looking for. That's it. Damn. End of an era. We're on to the Fire Chapter 11, Annoying Chirping. I don't think this was as strong as last week, but honestly closer than I would have thought. This wasn't bad. If there's one thing this series does really well, it's just the character interactions. They're really strong, and it makes them all very likable. And kind of come back to the other half of the main two here, who I'm not gonna say we've been neglecting him, lately, but he hasn't had as much of a spotlight as he previously did. So to kind of bring him back into focus and do a whole thing about giving him some moments is nice. I think it worked. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it well enough. It wasn't, again, the series hasn't fully latched on to me yet, but I feel myself getting closer. It's not bad. It's got things that I enjoy in it. They're just buried a little deep, maybe too deep for my liking. We'll see if it catches on. I'm very, very curious about this one. I can't tell if it's... I don't think it's going to be like a massive smash hit or anything, but I mean, it will at least last beyond an axe wave or two, I would have to imagine. And if it makes it past that, maybe it'll just last. I don't know. They might just try to coast with this one because they're so desperate for a sports series, and there is potential here. I just think, I don't know, I feel like they can get better. But they can have 2 sports series in the magazine. We got Hal Formula running as well, but that's a little atypical. But again, so is this. This is pretty atypical for a sports series as well. I don't know. We're entering a new era of sports series that are kind of focusing more on the character interaction and emotion rather than, well, I mean, sports series also did that in the past, but sports were also more of a focus than they are in the 2 that are running right now. Basketball is a thing here, don't get me wrong. We have played a game, but it feels like we're more focused on developing the characters, which is important for early in a sports series. So I guess it's not doing anything wrong. I don't know. Just some weird factors about this series that I have a hard time grasping how I even feel about it. But I mean, it was a fine chapter. I thought it was good enough. Shinobi Undercover, Chapter 87, An Unforeseen and Formidable Rival. This is great. This is exactly what I want. I'm so happy we have more slice-of-life stuff happening. It hasn't been abandoned. We got more, and we have some really fun stuff happening. So, at the core of it, it's, you know, something that is done very frequently in a lot of manga, where it's kind of an unknowing battle of affection, where one side knows what they're fighting for and the other side thinks it's something else. It's a classic, but I think it works really well here in this case, and it genuinely has me curious to see like what the result of this will be. Nothing big, but it's just fun to see this dynamic play out, and it will be fun in the coming weeks to see it continue to play out. This is so good. I'm really excited for the coming weeks. This was really needed. We've had so much action for so long. It's nice to take a step back and just do some more slice of life stuff, because that's what made me fall in love with the series to begin with, was the slice of life aspects and the balance of action. It's been a while since we've had that, but in that time I have fallen in love more with the action side of it, so I guess it worked out. The mangaka got me on that one. I'm glad we haven't abandoned slice of life stuff. Can't wait for more. This is perfect. Just what I wanted. Massive win.
What are you doing, step bro?
Anyways, Exorcist Chapter 151, A Shot at Victory. You know, it's alright. It's cool enough to see Nue go all out and like actually have a proper fight, which we have seen before, but it's been quite some time. But I don't know, it's kind of just like shallow action in my opinion. It's not really doing much for me. This isn't like some crazy, wild, high stakes fight, even though it literally is. It just doesn't have that same weight to it, because I mean, we all know nothing's gonna come of this. There's not gonna be any really big consequences coming out of this fight, because Gakuro's gotta show up and win. So, I don't know. It's fine. It looks cool, and I didn't hate reading it. It looked nice. But I don't have much to say about it. And then coming at the end, it's all these schmucks that I can't even be bothered to remember the name of. So, I don't know. Whatever. If this is supposed to be exciting, I'm not excited. Sorry to say. But maybe it'll at least bring some cool action, I suppose. That's pretty much all I can ask for on this one. Kinato's Magic, Chapter 21, Unreachable Magic. So this isn't bad by any means. It's just not good either. It kind of is just somewhere in the middle. It's inoffensive at this point. Like right now, it really is just like, whatever, I don't know, I'm reading it. The one thing I'll give it is I do like this new gimmick that Kinato seems to have, where he's so dead set on like fixing people. Like the people he's fighting, he's just kind of seeing like health problems and flaws with them. He just wants to fix them rather than like beat them. I think that's kind of a fun gimmick, you know, I quite enjoy that, but that's about all that makes him a unique character at this point. Again, he's very much just echoing Deku at this point. He's been just Deku since that, like, firework festival or whatever the hell. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's still just very subpar in my opinion. But it could turn around, you know, it really could. I know it's at the bottom of the TOC every week. It probably won't really last, but it's truly just fine. It's a harmless read. It doesn't ever really piss me off. Well, it kind of does, actually. I don't know, dude. This is such a weird one to me. I never really know what to say about it because I feel like my thoughts are always changing with it for good and bad. And I can never just reach a solid consensus on it. It's so weird. I guess it's kind of the same thing with Drawn to the Fire in a, well, no, not really. I don't have highs and lows with that one. It's pretty consistent. This one's all over the place. And it's never hitting like really high peaks and it's never really dropping to like hell levels of low. It's just kind of bobbing up and down the surface of the water. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we need a series like this, just some harmless shonen slop. Why not? If it lasts like longer than it takes for New Way to end, it can be a good New Way replacement, I suppose. Give me some slop every week. Give me my fix. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 31. This was a pretty good week. Once again, we had Hunter x Hunter come back, Hima-Ten ended, what an ending, and a lot of really good chapters along the way. But as always, one chapter did stand out amongst the rest, and this week my chapter of the week goes to Akane-banashi Chapter 212, I Have Something to Say. I just thought this was like a great, you could view it as like an end cap to the Kaisei story, but obviously we still have the performance to go, and as this series likes to do, I'm sure we'll get more story along the way. But either way, this really tied a lot of stuff together for this character and really solidified him as just an incredibly written character. We always saw it beneath the surface, but having all that bubble up to the surface now, it's beautiful. Extremely well done. Obviously, as I always rave about, the use of visual metaphor in this chapter was phenomenal. Love further exploring the relationship with Isho, with his mother, his whole past, and how it relates to this performance. It is just incredible. Plain and simple. Phenomenal, phenomenal chapter. That's all I got for this week. Next week, Ichi the Witch takes the cover. Very exciting. And we also have a new chapter of The Elusive Samurai to talk about. I have like a little special chapter probably to promote the second season of the anime. So that'll be interesting to have that come back for a second. Glad I waited on the compilation for that one because we have another chapter to talk about, I suppose. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Let me know your chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, or anything else you'd like to tell me about from this issue. Also, remember you can become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. Get things like early access to new videos, exclusive monthly videos, your name in the credits, and if you join at the highest tier, you will get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, Dan, The World's Worst, Menacing Pigeon, I Am Alive, I Think, and Papa Aeon. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.